It's another big week in Niftyville, and there just isn't enough time to discuss it all. Two Coinbase employees exchanged NFT rings with their wedding vows. Topps is getting ready to go public. Atari releases a new wave of digital collectibles, and the overly attached girlfriend NFT sells for an overly ridiculous price. Synchronize your watches for Nifty O'Clock for a Nifty News episode number 44 of The Nifty Show.
Looking into the future, what do we see? It's lined with digital collectibles, we call them NFTs. Games, trading cards, digital art, and those crypto kitties. Travis and Joel are the hosts, you'll know. Travis and Joel say this won't blow. They're locked and loaded, so ready, set, go! It's the Nifty, really kind of spiffy. The Nifty Show.
Nifty Show number 44, the Nifty News episode, where we cover some of the most interesting stories of the week from the NFT and digital collectible world. I'm Joel Com, and that there guy right there is Travis FT.
Who is that?
Or NF Travis.
NF Travis, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like NFTs are all the rage, and so my name starts with T. So rock and roll. And so, we normally when we start, the bad crypto news episode, we go into CoinGecko and we talk about all the different top 100 coins. Well, CoinGecko actually has a page on their website, coingecko.com/en/NFT, which actually shows us all of the top crypto NFT projects. And so I guess let me share my screen on that.
Yeah, we should take a look at that right here. By the way, Bitcoin currently at 58,202. I can't. Oh, here's the other, piece of news, which we'll cover more in bad news on Thursday on Bad Crypto. But the crypto market cap is now over $2 trillion.
Yeah, I saw that. I think that happened yesterday, didn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Like so take a look at this. Number one on the NFT list is Theta Network, which
is not an NFT.
I don't think it's an NFT, but it's $11.58. Look at the market cap, $11.5 billion. Remember back in 2006 when YouTube sold to Google for $1.6 billion?
Mm-hmm. Look at that.
This right here is like 10 of those almost. Chili's, CHZ, has a market cap of $2.3 billion. Engine Coin, 2.2. Ecomi, which is the OMI token, down a little bit this past week, down about 25% to 1.3 billion. Decentraland, the Mana token, 1.2 billion. Flow, up to $34 now. That's nice, $1.2 billion market cap. And Origin Protocols popped up this past week, 50%. And that's up to 500 and some odd million. Sand token, up to 440 million in market cap. And look at this right here. This blows me away. How is Red Fox Labs, the ones that created COGS, worth 435 million, but yet Wax is worth 415 million? And COGS is built on Wax.
Yeah. Well,
Riddle me this.
Congratulations to Benny and the team over there. I think it's awesome, what they're doing. Benny and the Cogs. But yeah, it doesn't make sense that the very chain that's built on what is like number 16, My Neighbor Alice. How is that worth more than Atari token? There's Gala Games, number 18. It would be
My Neighbor Alice is an interesting project. It is a land project.
Okay.
And you can build your own home on the blockchain. It reminds me of a little bit of Farmville. My Neighbor Alice is sort of like a Farmville. They say it's inspired by Animal Crossing and I think Farmville.
Oh, okay. Well, Animal Crossing and Farmville.
MyNeighborAlice.com. But I think that page is fascinating to take a look at to see what NFTs are doing. And especially if you're listening to the Nifty News, we might as well talk about the top NFT projects, yeah? So you can go there. Again, the link is coingecko.com/en/NFTs. NFT, actually, not NFTs. And I'll put that link in the show notes.
Quit NFTsing me.
Try not to, bro.
So the lead story on Cointelegraph for this week, the headline is Silent Crash as Price Floors Collapse Across NFT Space. Prices are plummeting, and some holders might not even know it. Look, we've talked about this before, that of course, when you see a huge upturn in the hype cycle, which happens at the beginning of every early adopter cycles, the media's talking, people are going to pay too much for NFTs. And, I'm seeing this happen on Nifty Gateway, that, there's NFTs that are now on the secondary market that are cheaper than their initial sale. You've got 200 or 500 people competing for a drawing of a piece for $500 or $1,000, and the supply is too big, and there's some stuff that I'm seeing sell now that is below retail, which is a big difference from about 2 months ago, where anything you bought on Nifty would go up. They're flooding the market. They're selling so much stuff every day. They're doing drops, some days 2 or 3 drops, and I don't think the market is yet ready to sustain that.
I don't think so either. And actually, one of my favorite NFTs of all time, the one that I bought recently, I paid like $8,000 for it. They're now selling for around $5,000. And I think what we're seeing is a recalibration, and that's good. I wanted that NFT because I thought it was beautiful. The Forever Mamba is just my favorite NFT, bar none. There's not anyone that is close besides the ones that we've created. I think I really love the Dojebra statue that I have. I think that's really fun. The wizard statue is one of my favorites. But one that we didn't create is Forever Mamba by Boss Logic, and the last one of that one sold for $4,500. Pretty cool.
I mean, I don't get this. I'm looking at this CryptoPunks here. I know they were the first. I do. But I don't understand them selling for $57,000.
It doesn't make sense that they're selling for such a high amount.
It just, I mean, that is pure hype and pure mania. There's no, I could be wrong. Maybe I'm just being a critic.
Could you imagine if you had one that you just like snagged, or you snagged a couple for free back in the day, and you just kind of forgot about them, and you're like, wait a second, oh my God, I have a CryptoPunk and I can sell it for 27 ETH. Are you serious?
I'm going to show you, as long as I'm talking about Nifty Gateway, let's go over here for a moment. There's some, it seems like, the line between what people are accepting as art and what's not it's not blurred. It's just everything is art now, right? Everything is art.
Except I'm not an artist. Remember, they told me I'm not an artist.
But there's a lot of similarities to what we're seeing now. All you got to do in any day is click in, and you definitely see a lot of 3D and animated stuff, right? Mm-hmm. Take a look at this one, for example. This is cool looking. It's called Ritual, and I'm sure it's got music to it as well. And I'm not going to play the music because I don't copyright to it, but there's, it's basically a little animated film, this ritual taking place. And they are doing a drawing, 200 of these for $999 each. It used to be, if you were going to pay $9.99 for something on Nifty Gateway, there would be 10 of a variation. Now there's 200. So I guarantee you, no matter how cool these are, that after these sell, that the market is not going to be there for an instant raise in the price like people were looking at before. And you will, in all likelihood, I'll bet, be able to get one for under retail within a week.
Well, I mean, it's cool, and it's definitely visual, but it's not something that I would want to have on my wall for long periods of time, right? Like, I think that's how I gauge an NFT if it's art, is like, do I want to have that on my wall for long extended periods of time? That one I would not. Like, a lot of them that are coming out are just kind of silly, that are just not, they're just not good, and they're not worth the value. I mean, they're interesting pieces, but they're not something I want to hang on my wall. And like, if I'm gonna pay, I mean, that Kobe, that Forever Mama, I could have that on my wall for years and just watching it. Like, it's so cool. It's just so subtle. It's, and so that's just my own personal opinion. And
here's how you can, of course you are. Here's how you can look at the market. If you look at the activity page on the site, put up for sale, put up for sale, put up for sale, put up for sale. I'm looking for something that was actually purchased. Put up for sale, put up for sale. Scrolling through. Oh, here we go. The Ecstasy of Crypto, there it is, was sold for $415. Let's take a look at this item here. And it's a couple Bitcoin, 482 milligrams.
That's a pill.
It's like an aspirin, right? So it sold for $415. I'm really curious. Let's look at the edition history. All right, so it was minted. Let's look at the initial stats for this on the market. The original price was $500. for it.
Mm.
And so this was just sold for under retail. Why? Because there was 500, it's this open edition thing that they're doing regularly. They're putting this art out, and the way I look at open editions is if you like it, like you were saying with this Kobe one, buy it. And now you've got art. But if you think you're going to buy it and then flip it, an hour later, a week later, a month later, you're not thinking business, because it's an open edition. Everybody who wants it is buying it. So how are you going to turn a profit on something that anybody can get while they're for sale?
Yeah.
Doesn't make sense.
So I don't know if this is a silent crash. This is more of an obvious crash. It was going to do this. Crypto goes up, crypto goes down. The more popular ones are going to continue to rise. The more popular sets and communities that have the series launched, they're going to continue to sell out. The ones that are not are going to be maybe the unknown ones, the folks who maybe don't have a community, and we're going to see them, a lot of folks who are expecting to maybe, make a huge mint by minting NFTs, be severely disappointed, and then they're going to come out and be naysayers of NFTs because NFTs don't work.
They don't
because
work.
Cash grabs don't work.
Right. Well, that is true. It's not that NFTs don't work. It's that your crappy project doesn't work. That's the real deal. Now, this is a really fun use of NFTs. So there's two employees at Coinbase, and they did their wedding vows, and then they exchanged NFT rings. They both got their phones out while they're giving their vows, and they got married on blockchain and exchanged NFT rings on Ethereum. There's the token. It's called the Tabat, the Hebrew word for ring. And let's see if we can play the video. There we go. There they are. This is the digital ring of two lives entwining and becoming one.
That's cute. I like that.
Yeah.
That's definitely an interesting, pretty. I don't know, rather nerdy. You know what? But to them, it was probably very romantic.
Mm-hmm.
They loved it, and they both work at Coinbase, so they're in the industry. I've heard a lot of people giving them grief, going, "Oh man, it's not that romantic." But they did something innovative. They're in love, and I wonder if they also exchanged regular rings.
Yeah, well, hope so. I wonder if they had an NFT honeymoon. Did they?
Here's Photoshop them in Tahiti.
Right, there we are. We're actually all over the world. We went around the world, and then they minted a whole set of NFTs.
Yeah, and they stayed in their one-bedroom San Francisco loft.
Now, Trav, have you ever met the overly attached girlfriend?
Have I met her?
Yeah.
I've not met the woman who was this on, but this girl's clever. She actually, back in, I think it was 2011 or something, she created a music video that was a parody of some other song. And Lena Morris is her name, and I think she had a song. It was a parody song. It was a parody video of Justin Bieber's Boyfriend, and then she uploaded her video in 2012. It was viewed 21 million times. Well, somebody actually took a screenshot of her looking as crazy as possible with those crazy girlfriend eyes. And basically, if you see that face, that look in a girl's face, you run because she's a little crazy.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, you just wrote a spoof song. She's got crazy girlfriend eyes.
Yeah, she does. She's got crazy girlfriend eyes. And so what's great though, man, is she took a picture of that. She realized that was her from 2012. She minted it, I guess, as an NFT and made $400,000.
Okay, I mean, come on.
Well, think about that though. That Bad Luck Brian guy, he got paid too. And these are people who have had their faces shown all over the internet, all over the place on these memes, and they made nothing from them. And now they've both been able to cash in a little bit on their meme status. So on one perspective, I think that's pretty cool.
On one perspective, it is very cool. It's just, come on. I don't know. I think overly priced, but it just goes to show people have money to burn, right?
It changed her life though. She's like, oh my God, you guys do not know how much this is changing her life. Additional 400 grand influx is out of the blue. That's huge for her.
I'm not talking about her selling it. I'm talking about somebody spending that money to buy it. Can you imagine spending $411,000.
Well, there's a lot of those Ethereum cantillionaires out there, and now they own the tokenized version of the crazy girlfriend.
All right, they can have her. You know, I might have bid a couple $100 on it, but you know, it's amazing what people give value. What do I know? I don't know anything. That's why I'm bad.
That's true.
What else we got?
There's another thing that's happening is some global fashion brands are checking out NFTs, looking to get in. Gucci's thinking about jumping into non-fungible tokens. We actually had a conversation with Champion. They're looking to do some stuff with NFTs, which is cool. And yeah, so I can see one thing I can really see with these is that, oh, I buy a pair of shoes and here's my digital twin as an NFT to prove that it's legitimate, right? Like a lot of times, I just bought these pair of Jordans. Are they legitimate? Yes, they are. Here's the NFT that proves they're legitimate. I just bought this Gucci bag or this Armani, whatever. Is it fake? Is it, because these luxury brands need to have some way to validate that, because there's so much fake product out there. I think NFTs attached to the digital, if they're the digital attached to the physical, I think is a big thing we're going to start seeing moving forward. This is legitimate. You have the NFT to prove it, not to sell the NFT on its own, like we saw last week with the perfume, but we're going to see NFTs in combination with their physical goods to prove that they are official.
Which of course is just, you know, a step away from the real value of ownership NFTs when we get to, you know, home titles and car titles being on NFTs, right? Ownership of major assets that, hey, you know, what if there was a fire and your title burns up? Now you got to go back to the title company and submit for a copy of it. If it's on blockchain, you don't even need to have it in your wallet. All you got to do is point to it on blockchain and go, there it is. There's a transaction. That is my wallet. I don't have to show it to you. I can just show you the chain.
Yep.
There's proof that it's me. I own it.
We're going to see a lot more of that.
So here's the big news, Travis. There's been a lot of rumors coming from Topps, the legendary trading card company, and we're still waiting on them to make any major league announcements. But we've seen that MLB.Topps has been registered, and the speculation is that baseball is coming to blockchain via the Wax blockchain, because that's where Topps is released on blockchain. You know, Garbage Pail Kids, they just did Godzilla. But alongside with this, they're riding the NFT wave, and the Topps company is going to go public. Yeah,
they are doing a SPAC, which is what, a special purpose acquisition company. And so they are going to go public with that. The deal values Topps at $1.3 billion. And conversely, Flow, Dapper Labs, is valued at $2.5 billion or $2.6 billion. And here's Topps, has been around for 70 years. And they're known for, you know, basically their baseball cards and a lot of the other stuff. But they are raising an additional $250 million in the SPAC. And they intend to sell most of its ownership in Topps, the company that's buying in. But Eisner's firm is going to roll its entire equity stake in the new combined company. So they're going to create this new version of Topps, and the NASDAQ's ticker will be TOP. And you can see all these different packs that they've had here. I think that it's going to be huge. You know, when they officially launch or they announce MLB on Wax, what do we think is going to happen? What do you think is going to happen to Wax?
I think, you know, well, Wax right now, it hit like a high of about 31, 32 cents. And today it dropped to like, it's been down to about 21 or so, 23, 24 cents. I think if and when Topps announces MLB, we're going to see the news media everywhere cover it. And people are going to be like, wait, what? Wax? And they're going to FOMO like crazy. They're going to try to figure out how to get it, because right now it's only on a few exchanges. Yep. And I think the price is going to soar. You know, being a not financial advisor, it would not surprise me to see Wax go up at least 3 to 4x if they announce this.
If it goes up to 4x, we're talking 1.6 billion, which would, you know, make it number 4, not considering Theta Network, which is not really an NFT. But Chili's is worth 2.3 billion. Excuse me. Engine is worth 2.2 billion. Ecomi 1.3. We mentioned this. Flow 1.2 billion, just with their Flow token, not the total value of Dapper Labs. So I could see it being worth what Flow's worth, 1.2 billion. That seems to be pretty reasonable considering they've been launching a bunch of successful projects on Wax already. And right now, Wax is, it looks like a 415 million. So that would put it, if it goes 3x, yeah, it would put it at about $1 or close to $1, somewhere between 80 cents and $1, and be right there with Flow.
Well, there you go. So that's what I think would happen. Now, we keep talking about Theta not being NFTs. So I'm like, you know what? There's got to be a play here that we're just not in the know yet. So I put this into our show notes. Founded on Theta TV, NFTs now on Theta, emotes and badges, 100% built on the Theta blockchain. So their NFTs, they're calling TNT items, Theta Network tokens. So these are going to be built on their own blockchain, unique and owned by the user, and will have expanded utility.
We talked to these guys really early about NFTs, and they were like, no, we don't really think we're going to be doing any NFTs. And the world changed since then. And they go, yeah, these NFTs, because like, here we are, they have all these different creators that are doing stuff. They need little badges. They need little NFTs to be able to give to their fans that are listening to the show. It made total sense to us that they would do NFTs. Originally, they said nope, and then they changed their tune.
So, here's the thing. It's showing up in the market cap as #1 for NFTs, but they're not an NFT company, right? They're being brought in to the NFT space, and they're on the CoinGecko, NFT list, but they're a decentralized video blockchain company that will be using NFTs.
Yeah.
So I think there should be a separation amongst projects. What is NFT centric and what is also, we also have NFTs, because crypto.com is doing NFTs now. Should they be placed in the NFT category? They're exchange.
Yeah, I think not.
Yeah.
And Pancake Swap is doing some NFTs now with their thing. They just launched one today. So does that mean they're an NFT company? I think not. Probably companies that are specifically built around NFTs should be one. Here's an interesting article around NFTs. Crossovers set to conquer the NFT worlds here on Daily Coin. This is talking about the crossover that we had created with Upland, which the first part of the sale went on sale about a couple 2-3 hours ago, and they all sold out pretty quickly.
They did. We're really pleased with the Upland team and what we've been able to create alongside them. And the first half of the sale has been completed. For those of you that listen to the show before midnight Eastern Daylight Time on Tuesday, which is the day we're recording this, Tuesday the 6th at midnight, which is officially April 7th, you'll be able to go to Upland.cards and pick up while they last packs of Upland Collectibles, the Blockchain Heroes Edition there. And, the focus of this story here is about crossovers. I believe that we are the first to do cross-chain NFTs. That we are publishing them on Wax. Upland is built on EOS, and they are building a mechanism which they're calling the portal that will allow people to take NFTs from Wax and bring them into the EOS platform to be used within the Upland game.
Yeah, and I think we were the first ones to do a cross-brand promotion, because we just talked about Topps. We partnered with them in, I think, 2000. Well, it was in 2020, but I think it was in like July or something before we even did our full launch. It was a promotional thing where we took their Atomic Atom, which is their #1 guy on Garbage Pail Kids, and then we merged them within our world, and he became Atomic Atom, and he came into our metaverse. He did some things, and he flew back into his megaverse, and basically everybody who had a Topps Garbage Pail Kid or a Blockchain Hero got one of those. And so it was a really fun promotion. I think that was one of the first crossovers that was in the NFT space. And this is a true blockchain crossover because it combines Wax and EOS ecosystems. And this is fun. We're having fun being the first doing stuff that nobody else has done.
If you think about Atomic Atom, what he did is he came into our universe and he farted, right?
He did. He farted to come into our universe, and it blew into our megaverse. Yeah.
If you look at the card, he's like, boom, there's this huge explosion coming out of his
fart.
posterior. So yeah, thanks, Adam. We still smell you. Smell you later, dude. But you know, EOS and Wax are not the only chains doing stuff. Engine's got a post on their blog today about Efinity that is creating an NFT blockchain on Polkadot. So I'm assuming this is a partnership that Engine has with the Polkadot team to create NFTs on Polkadot. This quote here that I read, I find interesting. Think about it for a second. We're currently experiencing the first major step toward a truly free, open, global digital economy. I agree with that. One that blurs the lines between virtual and real. How is that? How do you blur the lines between what's virtual and real?
I don't know if it's necessarily blurring it, but it's combining, it's connecting the virtual and the real world. I mean, we just talked about that with like fashion, right? Yeah. Here's your cool shirt you got, or here's your cool bag, and here's an NFT to prove ownership. So it's merging the worlds.
I don't mean that language. This is like probably from their PR department. And I'm like, it's not blurry. I don't want to blur my lines between virtual and real. I want to live in reality and know this is real, this is fake.
Okay, scroll up a little higher. This is the one that got me. The total NFT trading volume in December of 2020 was around 12 million. Fast forward 3 months, and that number is over 500 million, right? We said this really early on. This is a future $1 trillion industry, and we're in it really early, folks. And that number right there, 500 million, still really low. This is a multi-billion, if not multi-trillion-dollar industry when it's all said and done.
The Polkadot's not going to be the last chain that has NFTs. There's a lot of them, I guarantee you right now.
I think most every chain is going to have an NFT platform that's built into it, that somebody's going to build on that platform. It seems like, every one of them out there is going to have an NFT. So I'm paying attention. I want to see who are those, because I think on each one of those major chains, there's going to be one big winner, most likely. Not financial advice.
Yeah, not at all. I agree. So you placed a link in here to a video on YouTube's that people can go check out. Of course, you can find a link to the show in the notes of the stories we're covering at nifty.show/44. What's this video about?
Yeah, so Logan Paul, he is talking about one of our favorite projects that we found really early on. We found VV, which is on Android and iOS. It's Ecomi, and it is the OMI token. We found this one. I think you found it when it was about 1/250th of a penny or something.
Yeah, it was.
And we were talking about it. We said this might be really, really interesting, and here it is. More people are talking about it, and it merges AR and NFTs, which I think is really big. I think the price on OMI right now is down a little bit. It was all the way up to like 2.5 billion. Right now it's at 1.6 billion. But I think that thing right there could be a $10 billion company when it's all said and done. We will see.
Well, while we're talking about NFTs, one of the reasons we're in NFTs and doing what we do as far as creating digital collectibles is because we love collectibles. And there is a story going around right now on Mashable that a physical collectible, not an NFT, a cartridge of an unopened, pristinely packaged Super Mario Brothers game from 1986 was auctioned off for $660,000. It's 35 years old, and it's in this case. You need to be watching the video on our YouTube channel if you want to see the pretty pictures we're looking at. This is the most expensive Super Mario game ever. It is not an NFT.
I had this exact one. I got my Nintendo in Christmas of 1986, and it's fun to think that if I had just kept my box and the thing never opened, that instead of selling it for $5, I could have sold it for $600,000.
Why did you have to go play that game?
Huh?
Why did you have to play the game? You should have just thrown it into a drawer and kept it pristine and packaged it up and said,
right. Instead of having fun with it, which was the most amazing fun game of my life at that point, that and Mike Tyson's Punch Out and Zelda, those things. I mean, I think I spent more time hanging out playing those video games with my friends than we did actually going outside and doing stuff.
Would have been
Which
like,
made me real, which is part of the reason, Joel, that I don't play as many video games as much. Because I used to play way too freaking many video games, and now I don't play many at all just because I know it was a huge time suck for me.
see, if you were a futurist, you would have been like, thanks for that, Mom, for Christmas. Don't you want to play it? No, Mom, I'm going to put it in a drawer and keep it pristine for 35 years, and then I'm going to sell it for $600,000.
Right.
And she would be like, you're a futurist, Travis.
She'd be like, "You're a dumbass."
You're it's not going to
Or
happen.
maybe you could have just said, "Hey, how about this? I want to put this one away. It's beautiful, and then I want to get another one."
There's another.
You're not thinking like that. You're
No,
like,
of course
why
not.
would you get two of them? You're wasteful.
Of course not. Of course, Nintendo, Mario is not the only piece of nostalgia for those of us who grew up with video games. Atari is legendary, and they just did a collection on Quid called the Capsule. I'm sorry, not well. It's related to Quid, right? But it was on OpenSea. The Capsule
It was on
collection.
OpenSea. It was also on Block Party. They did different sales in different places.
Okay, so these are NFTs that are cartridges. They're, how did they sell these?
Well, they sold some that were cartridges. They sold some that were like the old arcade consoles that you would see at the arcades.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they sold that with Pong and Centipede. I'm not for sure on what they did. I do know that they had Centipede of the cartridges. I did not see which ones of the different arcade. What are those things called? The arcade games with the stand up thing.
The cabinets, like a cabinet.
Cabinets. Oh, is that what they're called?
Yeah.
Cabinets. Okay.
So
Yeah.
this,
And they had Donna Bailey's signature on those, and
yeah,
so I guess it's pretty cool.
and it comes with some other, augmented reality experiences and stuff. If that's your jam, if you want high-end NFTs, you want that nostalgia, look at what Atari is doing, and look.
They sold 10 of them, Joel. Those 10 cartridges
Yeah.
for over 47 ETH.
Well, that's okay. That's not a bad day.
Not a bad day.
That's
not bad for Quid to be starting off with selling NFTs. And apparently they're launching another NFT on their app tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern that's related to Atari. And if you get these low mint ones, you're going to be able to actually mint them on Ethereum, I believe.
Oh, well, that'd be interesting. Now, this is what I'm looking forward to. NFT Art Museums. This article here on Daily Coin, the world's first physical NFT gallery, sets the standard for crypto art displays. And the article starts by saying glamorous 4K displays at 60 frames per second are how an NFT should be presented. Right now we're looking at them on our computer monitors. Those of us that are on Wax and have the Token Head app, we're able to view them there. I told Nate at Token Head, which by the way, they were the ones that were just acquired by Funko, that they need to have some sort of screen broadcasting feature in there where you can pull up and say, all right, I'm in my Blockchain Heroes collection and I'm in the classics folder, and I want all of these that don't have the nameplates on them, just the artwork, to display like a screen show and rotate every 15 minutes with a cool, effect that moves one from the other. So I could put it on my TV. Right? People are over and we're not watching TV, but there's art. Now, eventually that TV will change to, a display that you hang on the wall and hang like a picture that becomes where your NFTs are.
I think it'll be rotatable too. I think you're going to have one where it's like, I want to go here. Oh, these are landscape and this is portrait. And I want to take my monitor and go whoop and just be able to move it that way. It's like, depending on the NFTs that I'm showing, I want to be able to rotate my monitor.
NFTs are, they're here to stay, gang, and people are going to be looking for ways to display them. The fact that we've got a museum that is now looking at being the first one, to exclusively display NFTs tells us that this is just the beginning. Travis, let's go to the sports, because we discovered this one yesterday, interestingly enough, while we were talking about athletes moving into the NFT world.
We were literally like this, and this popped up on our radar. Heavyweight champion Tyson Fury is going to be the first boxer to launch exclusive NFT collection. Might not be the only one, but apparently will be first, or at least claiming to be first. And they're going to be doing some things with NFTs. They partnered with FOMO Labs and George Rollo to create these things. So it should be interesting to see what they're going to do. We've been talking about some other sports ball stuff that comparable. So it should be interesting. This is a space that's only going to grow. This right here, I think we're going to start seeing less of the cash grabs, like the Gronk stuff, and more launches.
Well, we don't know if this is a cash grab yet or not. Like we have
I don't
to
know if this
see.
is a cash grab. I don't know anything about it.
Yeah. But you'll also, if you're reading this Forbes article, you might be interested also to see suggested for you as 9 body washes every woman needs in her shower.
She needs 9 of them?
Apparently. I mean,
okay.
And this is what they are. Okay, I don't know what this story is about. Maybe you can enlighten me. You don't know either.
I didn't see this article. Oh, was this the band protocol? This is something different.
This is something different. I mean, they're talking about NFTs.
Oracles are like, like Chainlink, where they're going through and they're basically pulling in prices and stuff from different places and kind of helping out with the financial markets. So maybe this is something around NFTs that are going to be creating oracles to be able to globally track prices of NFTs.
Well, producer Aaron must have snuck this story in and didn't see it, so didn't really prep it. But you know what? If you guys want to read it, she thought it was important enough. So you can go to our show notes at nifty.show/44 and read the story here on Cointelegraph. Last Friday, Trav, we had a spectacular guest on the Nifty Show, Chantelle.
We did. Incredibly
talented vocalist and
she sang your name.
She sang, yeah, Joe Possible.
Impossible.
That's right. I just rewrote the lyrics.
You did. You're such a great lyricist.
I am. So, but there's an article about her now in USA Today, talking about how she is deploying NFTs in songs of empowerment. I wonder if the USA Today author saw the Nifty Show and was like, "Oh, dang, we got to talk to Chantelle."
Yeah. So last episode, I believe we had her on. She was the last segment of that. Really cool. She did say that Kings of Leon sort of inspired her. She wanted to do it in a much cooler way. And her team is comprised of all empowered Black women and the first all Black lady team to launch some NFTs, which I think is really cool.
Yeah, so Death Row Records announced the availability of 3 30th anniversary medallion necklaces priced at $30,000 and $30 each, with a 3D file of the medallion and exclusive audio of the Nate Dogg song "Nobody Does It Better." I don't want to play any audio with this because I don't want to get a strike.
But just mute the screen.
Okay, there we go. It's just showing the video.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, that is very nice. Death Row Records 30th.
So it's probably one they created that is it's probably real gold, and they created a physical one and they have an NFT version of it as well.
Yeah.
There you go.
Good job, artists. Make cool stuff. Now, here's something that I'm not sure exactly how I feel about. The NFT wave definitely has a tinge of Me Too to it, right? Everybody wants to get in and say, "Look at me, I'm doing NFTs also." And apparently Ashton Kutcher, Mark Cuban, Snoop Dogg, and I don't know who Guy Oseary is. I suppose I should, but they are creating a Shark Tank-like show called NFTs The Pitch, with a venture fund that is committed to invest $1 million in the NFT.
Hey, nice. Check out the judging panel. It's going to be our boy, the Whale Shark.
Yep, Whale
Creator
Shark's
of the Whale. Also, Blau is going to be there. And so they say it's kind of like Shark Tank. You know what? So if you have some NFTs that you want to pitch, you are able to do that from the 5th of April through the 12th. And 30 finalists will be notified on April 16th. And they will do a final virtual pitch of that. Maybe we should pitch one of our ideas that we've not done yet, Sir Lord Joe Com, just as fun.
No.
You don't want to?
No, not interested. In fact, somebody tweeted me and said, well, we should start our own, show around this. I think it was Bitcoin Bro that said it. And I'm like, no, dude, I'm too busy creating. Like, why do I want to go to somebody else for money and have to give them a chunk of it when we can create our own stuff and not have to give away any of it?
Yeah, we're at the point now where we wouldn't need anybody to do that. I think the only thing that you would reason you'd want to go on there is for the publicity, because there's going to be a lot of eyeballs on this one. And we're seeing a lot of people on Clubhouse specifically who are like talking about NFTs and talking until they're blue in the face, but not really doing anything yet. There's so many people talking about NFTs, not enough people doing cool, innovative stuff with NFTs. Too many Me Too's, not enough innovation in the space yet.
Yeah, we're busy actually making things, and and that's fine. I mean, look, there's a lot of room. We're going to see all kinds of experimentation here. This is interesting. The Variety has a timeline of NFT releases in media. So good for Paris Hilton, the first
Yeah,
one listed
she did
here.
a picture of her cat on her iPad.
Yeah,
But what was missing was April 8th, Blockchain Heroes.
right.
We're before all these yahoos.
Well, I don't think we were entertainment
We
industry.
are infotainment.
Yeah, or something. I don't know what we
Wait,
are.
I don't even know if we're entertaining, actually.
The question out there on NFTradar.org is, did we already see the peak of the NFT? Without even reading this, the answer is no. It's a silly question to begin with. This is the first media hype cycle of the NFT, but most of the world has just heard of them for the first time. Right. The reason that, in here they're talking about NFT volume dropping, and NBA Top Shot trades were down.
Well, it's because their freaking marketplace was down most of the time.
Well, it's not just that, they're flooding the market. Right.
Yeah.
They're doing these pre-orders now where they're selling a couple 100,000 packs to anybody who will wait for one. Nifty Gateway is flooding the market because there's so much demand from artists. They're raising the prices. Of course, it's going to pull back. They are the ones that I would point the finger to being responsible for the inevitable decline. But to say that it's peaked is pure ludicrosity. I just made up a really bad word.
Well, I think they're trying to find that happy medium, right? Because eventually the NFL is going to come in here and do some stuff, and they're really testing it all out. Like, how many cards are, because if you think about how many cards were sold with baseball cards and sports ball cards back in the day, they would print 5-10 million of the cards, right? So we don't even know how many, but now we're seeing that the volume's going down, user volume. I got upset with NBA Top Shot because it was hard to get a freaking pack, right? And then every time I wanted to go buy something on the marketplace was down. So I just stopped going there regularly. I think they shot themselves in the foot a little bit, but I don't think they can't recover from that. But I did notice that my value of my NBA Top Shot collection is down by 2/3 now. I think it's probably because people can't buy anything on the marketplace.
Well, and because they're flooding the market, right? You cannot have the hype cycle continue forever. What goes up must come down. This is one of the things I like about Wax is the hype cycle is not, there's not a strong hype cycle around it. And the community is very supportive of all the various projects that come out. I know I buy a little bit of everything, whether or not I even like it. I want to see what they're doing. I want to, sock away.
R&D.
Yeah, I want to sock away a few packs as collectibles or something. I am an NFT hoarder, and it's a problem. They're going to do a TV show about me.
But the only thing is that it's not clogging up your house.
Right, it's just clogging up my blockchain.
Yeah.
I need some blockchain rotor-rooter to clean out my. It's actually funny I say that because I have another Wax account, and I send NFTs that I really don't care about to that one, but I won't throw them away. I won't burn them. I'll send them to this other account. It's like, oh, you go to the Kmart account over here,
Nice.
I don't want to look at you, but I don't want to get rid of you. Is that horrible?
Funny. I should probably go through mine. I could probably get rid of about half my collection that way.
I'm not a big fan of the Atlantic magazine. I think they're incredibly slanted and pontificate about a good many things that they have no business talking about. And so I don't want to talk about this article.
Well, but it's not that. It's the article is Anil Dash is the one who wrote this article. And I mean, he's done some really interesting things in his career. He's been around for a long time and creating all kinds of different things and really big in analytics and some other stuff. One of the members of the Data and Society Research Institute. He's been there for a long time. He's done all kinds of stuff. Was one of the original directors of Stack Overflow, and he is the CEO of Glitch. And he's been doing a lot of really interesting stuff. And so this is just one of these articles, folks, where he says, there are some naysayers out there, and so I don't want to just, give you guys a bunch of, sunshine up your bunghole. But we like to share a little bit of stuff that's like, hey, here's some other people who are not sharing sunshine.
Sunshine up my bunghole makes me happy.
NFTs were not supposed to end like this. When we invented non-fungible tokens, we were trying to protect artists, but tech world opportunism has struck again. So he is a little dissension in that artist, that piece right there. Also, a little bit of dissent is from the world's highest valued living painter, David Hockney. He says, NFTs are for crooks and swindlers, and they're silly little things.
I think you should say that like the Scottish landowner that you are.
Well, go ahead.
NFTs on, no, you do it, are for crooks and swindlers.
Well, it was very good. That was nice. I did it the way I did it. You did it the way you do it.
Yeah, I think it'd be more fun.
International crooks and swindlers.
You know, the art world itself is an interesting proposition. I think we should get Veza back on the Nifty Show here in the near future, because he is a dissenter of the way the traditional modern art world looks at art, and he thinks that a lot of it is shite. And I don't disagree.
Yeah. Well, think about this. This Hockney dude's 83. He's like, I don't care about NFTs. I'm not looking for money. And he says that because his portrait of an artist is sold in 2018 for $90 million. So he doesn't really care. He's 83 years old. He's like, get off my damn lawn. I'm trying to paint something here. I don't need the damn computer.
Yeah. Okay. It's like, whatever. I don't care what this guy thinks. I don't care who he is. I don't care what he thinks. What I care about.
Say this, because some NFTs are pointing to URLs that are directing to sites that no longer exist. They don't host the NFT. That's because they're not put on IPFS.
Right.
True NFTs are pointing to an IPFS because that's going to be permanent. So at least that's.
It doesn't mean they're a crook or a swindler. It means they did bad tech. Right. It means they screwed up the minting of their NFTs, but that's bound to happen in the early stages of a technology, you know, where people don't understand exactly why you do things the way you do. Certainly there's crooks out there. In fact, just today, shortly after we sold the Upland Collectibles card set, there was a fake account that took the artwork for our packs, registered account called Upland.cards or something, made it on wax, and started trying to sell packs. Now, their account was never verified, but a few people, I think there was about $800 that was spent before we saw it, and the account was blacklisted, so they don't show up anymore. But there's always going to be thieves, just like anything else you buy. You want to know if that Louis Vuitton purse is real or not. You want to, you know, you need it authenticated. Well, you need to authenticate that wherever you're purchasing your NFTs from, that they're legitimate. And it's easy on most marketplaces if you're just paying attention. There's usually a verification system and a mark that tells you that this account is authentic. Look for that. If you don't see that, then do a little research before you go spending money, because there's a good chance that you're being taken.
Yep. Yeah. And there's a lot of shysters out there in every space. There's always opportunists that are out there trying to do bad stuff. But we're really here to help promote and show all the good stuff that's happening in the world and in the space. And, you know, here we are. We've been doing this show now for 10 months. We've been doing the Nifty Show. And in addition to doing bad crypto for almost 4 years, we've seen a lot of crazy stuff. And you know what? We built an amazing community along the way. We're really grateful for you guys tuning in. We love you guys. And it's quite a ride where we've been on this thing. Crypto roller coaster. We've gone through a crazy winter of crypto where everything was down. And it was, oh man, no sponsors, no money in the space. They're going in these high, you know, bull run type things. It's been quite an adventure, Sir Lord Jocom.
It has indeed, and I want to let you guys know that we are not going away. Sorry to those of you that wish we would, but you can make us go away by, you know, not listening. But we appreciate those of you who listen. Of course, Nifty News is a weekly pre-recorded show, but the Nifty Show, which is live every Friday, takes place on nifty.show/YouTube at 5 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time. It's a live show with 3 or sometimes 4 segments. And coming up this Friday on episode number 45 is going to be Justin Williams from BitBoy Crypto. Of course, BitBoy has launched one of the most popular YouTube channels.
The most popular on the internet.
And he's launching an NFT series. We've got Michael Bramlage from Quid coming on to talk about how the Quid app is transitioning to blockchainify things. And then Stefan Bisson from EOS Nation is coming back for a repeat performance. And I haven't told you about this yet, Travis, but they've got some cool artwork that they are launching on EOS as NFTs. And they really want to highlight the EOS blockchain. The art is really nice, and I think our people are going to enjoy learning about that. So that happens Friday live. If you miss the live show, you miss out on being with the community and talking about the show as it's happening in real time. But of course, you can always go to the Bad Crypto Podcast YouTube channel. Again, that's nifty.show/YouTube. We'll take you to our channel. You could see the video replays, or you can subscribe on iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, or Google Play to this podcast and listen to it in your ears. And as we talk about the pretty pictures that we're looking at on the screen, you can, in your own imagination, imagine what they look like, because that's what your imagination's for.
That's true. And this is episode number 44, which means next episode is everyone's favorite number, 45. That will be going on Friday. And anything else?
2 shows, 2 scoops. Too bad if you miss it.
There you go.
Be
Thanks for
nifty.
tuning in.
Talk to
Be
you
nifty,
soon.
stay nifty, all the niftiness. You're nifty.
Eat nifty things. Do nifty stuff.
Okay.